Welcome to 2021. We're finally in the new year. Businesses started new fiscal years operating on new budgets. Budgets that were constructed with all the assumptions and learnings from the pandemic. These assumptions showed up in very different ways in their digital transformation plans. And while there are still a lot of challenges in many industries, 2/3 of the companies in a recent survey said they were as well or better off than before the crisis. Here's what's going on. Gartner recently surveyed 1,300 companies on the pandemic impact, and 55% said sales were as good or better than before. 42% reported increased employee productivity, and a third said they were funding more business initiatives like digital. 2/3 said the margins were as good or better than before. So companies clearly reacted differently to the crisis, even in the same industry. Some went into cost-cutting mode and others into expansion. We don't know who will be right in the end, but the growth camp tends to have an edge. There were significant cost savings at some companies last year as they cut back on business travel and events, contract work, discretionary marketing spend. The question is, what happened to those savings? Were they applied to new investments or to keeping the lights on? Budgets codify our view of the world. We had plenty of time to think, make assumptions, and get consulting help. One company I spoke with cut back 90% of their significant travel spend and never reinvested it. In fact, a big part of the savings ended up in performance bonuses, which in turn helped with executive retention. Another company used the millions they saved in marketing and travel expenses and launched several new programs to expand their digital channel and their intelligent contact center. Of course, I like the second bet a lot more. Not just because I believe in digital technology. The other reason is that there is no possible business growth that can come from spending the cost savings today. Some estimates show that the travel and entertainment costs alone were over $400 billion the year before COVID. And last year they plummeted to maybe $100 billion. So where did the $300 billion go in savings? I think most companies did not consciously decide to reinvest, which makes sense as many were in firefighting mode. But $300 billion in travel savings alone is a massive amount and could significantly alter the direction of the digital sector if reinvested. Overall business cut were over $1 trillion by some estimates. A large part was reinvested, but no one has the final data yet. There were two key lessons for companies in the crisis. They needed more scrutiny on the SG&A spend and more flexibility in their business models. So how is this impacting digital programs? Well, spend scrutiny introduced more value measurement and ROI rigor to the transformation programs. This in turn impacted the two edge cases in digital transformation. The way to aspirational pie-in-the-sky programs with excessive costs and unclear value measurement process were scaled back. The other end of the spectrum, many companies cut down digital pilots, proofs of concepts that were cheap but had little to no ROI. The business flexibility imperative is the most interesting. Companies realized that their workforce structures were too dated, their outsourcing contracts too rigid, the go-to-market models and supply chains inflexible. So cracks appeared at every process area during the pandemic due to this inflexibility. This is why digital projects during the crisis really shine. Automation created alternatives to outsourcing and contract work. Machine learning helped adapt to changing customer demand, supply chain disruptions, and intelligent multi-channel commerce tools created the flexibility needed for pivoting to the new sales and marketing realities, so we can respond better to the customers. Now, with that experience, when leading companies created their 2021 plans, they considered these two imperatives, the value rigor and the flexibility for their upcoming digital transformations. The projects need to improve customer interactions, help supply chain issues. If they are not directly tied to the value chain, then there should be explicit value rigor applied to them. Digital projects should add value right away, scale quickly, and create flexibility for the next crisis and market change. In a Tech Republic survey, 50% of the companies said they will spend more on digital transformation due to the lessons in the pandemic. Digital tools are also maturing. A Deloitte survey shows that 80% of the companies already implemented basic automation, 50% even went to computer vision with AI, and general AI deployment happened at about 30% of the companies. By the time the laggards adopt these new technologies, the market will have already moved on. The value creation equation seems promising too. The same Deloitte survey says companies expect 15% increase in revenues due to intelligent automation, and they reported an average cost savings of 24% in the automated areas. I think the future is very bright for business. AI and automated workforce will shine. In 2021, we will be one step closer to the new digital work reality. See you there. Talk soon.